Warning: this video review involves an anime series that involves fan service. Fan service is a process which involves anything of a sexual nature, including panty shots, breasts, and occasional brief nudity. If you're either a feminazi, an overprotective mother, a member of the Winger Dingers, a brony, or a John Cena fan, please, viewer discretion is advised. Thank you. But even though she is only 11, and of course they usually they kind of have some interesting. It's an interesting relationship. It's the most interesting relationship between Kurumu and Yukari. There, sometimes they'll be picking on each other and fighting each other and grabbing each other's boobs half the time, but then they'll later on team up on a project or some sort of mission that they do to help out, especially when they join the newspaper club later on in the series. Now, Yukari, of course, is a witch, and she does have very interesting abilities, especially materializing inanimate objects and having them fall on people's heads. She has a wand, which kind of reminiscent of magical girls like Sailor Moon or Card Captor, stuff like that. It's not like your typical wand like from Harry Potter or anything. So it's a big old giant girly looking thing. But she's not a bad character, but of course she kind of appeals to the lolly group, like most members of the Winger Dingers are. The sort of having a weird attraction for the youngest member. She's usually like the youngest of the group who is in love with the lead male character. She's kind of the youngest member in the TV series Tenchi Muyu. She's kind of in love with the lead character, the lead male character, and she would wish that she's older and stuff like that. But it's like some sort of like some fans who into lolly, they like to fantasize about being with this girl for some odd reason. I don't know. It's kind of sick. It's almost like pedophilia, I guess. I don't know. And we move on to the fourth bride of Tsukune. She, of course, doesn't really appear until many episodes into the series. Sheesh. I'm trying to remember. Of course, she's not even the last one. And that is Mizore. Now, Mizore is an unusual monster. We don't hear much about them. She's mostly based on Japanese myth that she is a snow woman. A woman who is able to control the forces of cold and ice and snow. And of course, when she first comes in, her hair is longer. She throughout the series, her hair is short, but in her first appearance, she does have long hair. And oddly enough, she is sort of she is kind of odd in the sense that she does talk in sort of a semi-monotone voice. I don't know if she's able to speak with a sucker in her mouth. Now, that particular candy that she sucks on all the time is pretty much to help her get around in non-cold environments. It's an enchanted sucker. It just keeps her body cold. So it helps her survive the heat. In other words, if you notice, her mother sucks on too when she's on the campus. We'll talk about her mother in a future video. Now, of course, she, of course, is, we meet her later on in the series. She's not like in episode 4 or anything. She is sort of a late person to school. She, of course, missed some time. But when she does arrive, she does have affections towards Skune, being this is shortly after they join the newspaper club. And she has read most of the articles and likes what he writes, and she basically interprets that he is a lonely guy, like her being a lonely girl, and to feel that there's a connection between them. But when he tries to explain that he isn't really lonely because he has made very good friends with Mocha and Kurumu and Yukari, she flies into a rage and tries to kill Mocha and all. And it was, of course, for the efforts of Skune and the girls to try to rescue her when she was about to fall off a cliff that she realizes that they can be her friends too, and all. And she even cuts her hair by the end of the episode. And of course, she's sort of the cutest of the group. She kind of had this strange stalker thing about her. She kind of pops in the weirdest places, like behind desks and up through ceilings and all, just freaking everybody out. They didn't even know she was there until she pops her head out. And all, but she's kind of a cute character. She's one of my favorites of the girls, her and Kurumu, obviously, for obvious reasons. But now, of course, these two Kurumu and Mizore do have their confrontations. Not as much as Kurumu and Yukari do, but when they do try to fight for Skune, it is kind of interesting, to say the least. Now, in a couple episodes after we meet Mizore, we do meet the last bride or female love interest of Skune, and this is Ruby. Now, like Yukari, she is also a witch, and more, of course, an older witch. She's, of course, the same age as the other girls. And, of course, unlike everybody else, she is not a full-fledged student. She's not obviously a student of Yokai Academy. She is a sort of an outsider. They meet her during their summer vacation when they go to the beach. And basically they find out that there's a small coven of two witches who basically plan to get revenge on the human race for encroachment on their territory and all. And it's up to the girls to try to convince Ruby that this way is not right. It's oddly enough, this is sort of her situation is that it's almost kind of like Norman Bates and Psycho. I haven't read the comics. The manga is, of course, as I should have said earlier. This, of course, is based on a very popular manga. That's still going on, by the way. I'm going to talk about that later. But Ruby sort of has this complex that she tries to follow the will of her mistress, whose name is Lady Oyakata. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But oddly enough, in this, as opposed to the manga, she's dead. And so it's sort of like a Norman Bates situation where she's thinking that the woman is alive and does bad things under her command, even though the woman isn't really alive. So it's kind of weird. Now, of course, obviously the girls do convince her to stop what she's doing. And now, of course, she does tried to enlist Yukari in her little witch army, as well. Well, you know, Ruby does, being that they're both witches and everything. Now, of course, Ruby's hatred for humans is that involves the death of her parents through drunk human driver and all. And all that. Of course, being that what the other witch told her when she was still alive really didn't help things either. Now, of course, they were able to get her to change her ways, but we don't see her as much after this episode, you know, through the rest of the season. We don't see her again until season 2, when she becomes a member of, sort of a member of the staff. She, as I said, she's not a student per se, but she does have. By season 2, she does come on to the campus and does crazy jobs. So we're going to focus that on in the next season video. So that's pretty much the main characters, or of course the Skune and the girls point of view. There's other characters involved here, like Ginye, or otherwise known as Gen. He, of course, is a werewolf who basically is in charge, or the president of the Yokai Academy newspaper club, which Skune and the girls do join. Of course, not only is he a werewolf, who, of course, is also an S-class monster, by the way, whose power does thrive through the moon. Of course, he is sort of the most perverted character in the series. He is sort of a peeping Tom. He likes taking pictures of girls while they're changing their clothes and all this stuff. And when we first meet him, he tries to frame Skune in doing all this. Being a peeping Tom and everything, so that he can get the girls. But of course, Mocha steps in, and her inner self kicks his ass. And after it was revealed that Gen was the peeping Tom and all. Now, of course, he's he is a nice guy outside of being a pervert, and kind of smooth talker. He kind of lets everybody do the work of the group, while he does take pictures and everything like that outside of the naked girl pictures and all. But we don't see a lot of him half the time, because usually something keeps him, like when they're going off on summer vacation. He, of course, has to stay and do some remedial work in classes and all. Another interesting character who's pretty much she's one of the staff members. She, of course, is the homeroom teacher. She is Nakome. She is the cat girl in the series, or the cat woman, literally. She's sort of a flighty young woman who kind of happy all the time and tries to be positive and all that with the students. A little bit flaky, but not to the point of her being a dumbass or anything at all. And she, of course, obviously kind of speaks with a little bit of a cat influence, obviously. She, knows her hair does sport like cat ears, even though that she tries to keep her feline self in check. She's a cute character. Now, of course, another interesting member of the staff we do see from time to time is basically referred to as the bus driver. Now, the bus driver is this guy who, of course, drives the bus, who Skune first meets when he first arrives to the Yokai Academy. He's the guy who drives him. Of course, we do see him from time to time in some episodes where the gang needs to be transported into the human world and all. The bus driver is a mysterious character, and he does look kind of creepy. We don't know what he is. He just